Good evening. Oh, hold on. Loud noise. Loud noise alert. Sorry. Forgot to turn the volume back up. I turned it down to answer an email and to watch a video clip. How are we doing? Welcome. We got Pippadot. Good evening, Pippadot. Welcome to tonight's stream. And then we have Gemma. Good evening. Good evening, ladies, and welcome to tonight's trivia. All the questions tonight are on Dellmus Charles Colvin. Dellmus Charles Colvin. Doing good. Will, you? I'm doing great. Doing great. Mild temperatures today. It was only in the high 80s here, but pretty good. Sal. Good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia. You can't hear me? Anybody else have that issue? Lita. Do. Hello, left-handed RN. I streamed earlier for an hour and a half, my first stream in about 3 weeks. Sometimes it's better, you can't hear. Tom Baker, don't know him. Don't know Dellmus Charles Colvin. My sound is fine, says Sal. Maybe try refreshing the stream. Pippadot. Kitty Q. Good evening, Kitty Q. And Tom Baker. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Lita, left-handed RN. Well, we'll definitely learn something new tonight then, together. I knew very little about Dellmus Charles Colvin and before putting this trivia night together. I don't remember how many I got right, but I'm pretty sure I would have gotten an F on tonight's trivia before I put it all together. I was not. And good evening, JDR. I can hear you and see you perfect. Well, thank you, Jim. No, it's working good. I know the Baton Rouge serial killer. Good evening, Purple. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Got another 30 seconds and then we're going to get this party started. Thirty more seconds. Kathleen. Good evening, Kathleen, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Tonight, all the questions are on Dellmus Charles Colvin. Dellmus Charles Colvin, serial killer. Tom Baker is familiar with Derek Lee Todd. Yep. He's a sicko. Derek Todd Lee. Joe Tallchief, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Joe Tallchief. Coming to us tonight from the world's slowest laptop. Well, I hope that you don't have problems following along tonight. Remember to be on live chat. And Gianna Marie, don't know him either. Well, we're all going to learn together as we go. Serial killer Dellmus Charles Colvin is tonight's trivia subject matter. This is episode number 375. For those following along, this trivia night circulated here is the factual evidence and verified data from the FBI, the Department of Justice, and Scotland Yard whenever needed, along with court records and transcripts from trials. It does not include conspiracy theory, speculation, or unverified claims about what may have happened. If you are seeking sensationalism or content related to similar theories or lies spread by those who can't be bothered to do the research on the topic, this event and topic may not be the right fit for you. Tonight's program documents actual crimes and offenses by criminals. Some of the content covered here may not be suitable for all audiences. Tonight's videos and research comes to us from ABC Channel 10, Fox 13, along with the Associated Press and the Department of Justice, FBI, and Matthias Groverland and Pratikas, however you pronounce the last name, Kushawana. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your last names. If you do not see the word, below the stream that says subscribe, and it's, if it's it says the word subscribe, then go ahead and click that subscribe button. Join with the community. Dellmus Charles Colvin is an American serial killer who, during his employment as a long-haul truck driver, killed at least 6 women in Ohio and 1 in New Jersey between 1987 and 2005. He was arrested after a DNA profiling exam exposed his guilt in 2 of the murders, and not long after, he confessed to the other crimes. He is currently serving 6 life sentences at the Lebanon Correctional Institution. With that said, did you know, according to the FBI, after graduating from high school, Dellmus became a taxi driver in Atlantic City and in various suburbs, where 11 women vanished in the span of 3 years. Of those 11 women, none of their bodies have ever been discovered as of 2024. Dellmus Charles Colvin was known to dispose of women in waterways, so it is possible he did this with them all. Again, he was connected through the FBI as a cab driver in the Atlantic City area to the disappearances of 11 women. We know that he is currently serving life without the possibility of parole. Without any further delay, let's get ready to rumble on some trivia. Question number 1 is now on your screen. What is Dellmus Charles Colvin's full birth name? Is it A, Dellmus Charles Maxim Colvin, B, Dellmus Charles Colvin, C, Dellmus Christian Colvin III, or D, Del Colvin Samuel II? And yes, I saw that, Tom Baker, that they identified someone in the yogurt shop murders. He was it's already someone that they had on their radar, and the police were very well known of this individual. Sorry. I had a cobweb that fell from the ceiling and landed right on top of the camera. So I had to blow it off of the camera. Hello, Dawn Marie. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Ooh. Right there. That's good enough. Here's a story about a man named Dellmus. I hope you had a great week, Dawn Marie. Question number 1. What is Dellmus Charles Colvin's full name? The correct answer is B. Dellmus Charles Colvin. That is his complete name. Finally, it's been 30 years, a long time to get answers. Yes, that's true, Ivory Lady. Very true. Question number 2. Dellmus Coleman, aka the Smasher, is known primarily for what type of crime? Was it A, armed robbery, B, serial killing and hard R word, that is, blocked by monetization on YouTube, or C, cyber fraud, or D, espionage? Question number 2 of 20. Dellmus Colvin, aka the Smasher, is known primarily for what type of crime? Smoke them if you got them. We got B, 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 more B's, and more B's. B seems to be a popular choice for this one. Question number 2 of 20. The correct answer is B as in boy. Serial killings and that hard R word. Question number 3. What 2 states convicted Dellmus Colvin of murder? Was it A, New York and Ohio, B, Ohio and New Jersey, C, Pennsylvania and New Jersey, or D, California and Pennsylvania? Which 2 states convicted Dellmus Colvin of murder? I got copped and had to quit smoking. So hard to quit. I'm sorry, Sal. Well, I mean, good for you, Sal, but I'm sorry that it was hard. They say it's it's harder than giving up a lot of things. I've seen, and I've read in these books that are behind me on the shelf on psychology that giving up smoking is just as hard, if not harder, than heroin. I've never had to give up heroin because I mainline and chase that dragon every day. Just kidding. No, I've never done heroin, so I never had to give it up. So I can't, say that that's true. I just know that they say that it's close to that. I still can't hear. I'm sorry, Pippadot. Is it muted by any chance? Have you checked to see if it's muted? You can't hear that, can you? Question number 2. The correct answer is B as in boy. Ohio and New Jersey convicted him of murder. Oh, know why it went back. Question number 4. What method of killing did Dellmus Colvin not use to commit murder? Was it A, poisoning, B, vehicular, C, read them Chad Daybell books, or D, all of the above? Question number 4. What method of killing did Dellmus Colvin not use to commit murder? Joe told you if I'm pleading the fifth. That's strange that you can't hear. What method of killing did Dellmus Colvin not use to commit murder? Question number 4 of 20. The correct answer to question number 4 is D as in dog, all of the above. He never poisoned anyone, and he never used a vehicle to commit murder, nor did he commit murder by reading them Chad Daybell books. All of the above. He never committed murder by poisoning, vehicular, or reading them Chad Daybell's books. Question number 5. What was the occupation during many of Dellmus Colvin's murders? Was it A, a bartender, B, a truck driver, C, a teacher, or D, a male exotic dancer? Question number 5 of 20. What was his occupation during many of the murders? JDR, F. B, Lieutenant RN, Sal, Pippadot, Kitaku, going with B. Question number 5. Tom Baker, exotic male dancer, LOL. Lita's going with B. JDR, D, for sure. Not. Going with B. JDR is going with B. Question number 5. The correct answer is B as in boy, truck driver. His 2 main occupations in life. After high school, he became a cab driver. And then after he was a cab driver for about 3.5 years, he then became a long-haul truck driver. Well, thank you, Gemma. I appreciate that. B. Stephanie, bewitched, not bothered. Good evening and welcome to tonight's stream. B. Stephanie, bewitched, not bothered. Sprinkled Donut, good evening. Question number 6. When was Dellmus Colvin finally arrested for the murders he committed? Was it A, 2002, B, 2005, C, 2001, or D, 2020? Question number 6 of 20. When was Dellmus Colvin finally arrested for the murders he committed? Dellmus Charles Colvin. Kathleen is going with B. Purple B. Gianna Marie B. Gemma B. JDR D. Lita is going with B. Question number 6. The correct answer is B as in boy. In 2005. In 2004, his DNA popped up in CODIS finally. And through a DNA match is how they were actually able to narrow it down. And then they had to find him. And he was finally arrested in 2005. Question number 7. How many murders was Dellmus Colvin convicted of committing? Was it A, 14, B, 7, C, 11, or D, 9? How many murders was Dellmus Colvin convicted of committing? Question number 7 of 20. And yes, Joe Tall Chief, B again. B, Stephanie Bewitched Not Bothered is going with A. Kirikou B. Sal B. Lita B. Gianna Marie A. Kathleen is going with B. How many murders was Dellmus Colvin convicted of committing? Joe Tall Chief, I'm going with B. Pippa D. Question number 7. The correct answer is B as in boy. 7. He was convicted of 7 murders. 7. Question number 8. What sentence was handed down to Dellmus Colvin for the 7 murders he was convicted of? Was it A, death penalty, B, life without parole times 7, or C, life plus 185 years, or D, 50 years? Thank you, Aliquid. I'm usually sprouting a little stream of blood somewhere. Oh, wow. Well, don't believe it, Joe Tall Chief. I'm on a roll tonight. I've related going with B. Cal with B. Left on our end, and Sal are all going with B. Gianna Marie and Lita are B. Gemma is going with B as well. Question number 8 of 20. What was this sentence handed down to Dellmus Colvin for the 7 murders he was convicted of? You're not going to believe this, but the correct answer is B, as in boy. Life without parole times 7. He is to live, if he ever could live out the life, a single life sentence, he will do one after another, after another, after another. 7 life terms, back to back to back, not to run concurrently. He has to run one life sentence and then another, and then another, and then another. Question number 9. Besides the hard R word and murder in the first degree, what other crimes was he convicted of? Is it A, kidnapping, B, aggravated murder, C, fraud, or D, interstate commerce theft. Besides the hard R word and murder in the first degree, what other crimes was he convicted of? B. Stephanie is going with A. Ivory Lady and Kitty Q is going with B. Sal's going with A as well. Left Lita and Left RN are going with B. Gemma going with B. Question number 9. Joe Talchi, B? Question mark? I don't know. I mean, it could be. We'll find out in a minute. For question number 9, could it be B again? I don't know. We'll find out. Question number 9 of 20. The answer to question number 9 is B. B as in boy. He was charged and convicted of first-degree murder and aggravated murder. They are two separate charges in both of the states that he was convicted in. There's first-degree murder, there's aggravated murder, there's manslaughter, and each one of them has a different level and a different maximum sentence that can be handed down for each crime. But he was convicted of 7 counts of first-degree murder, and he was convicted of an additional 4 charges of aggravated murder. Question number 10. What was the number one motive for Dellmus Colvin to want to keep killing? Was it A, money, B, misogyny and sexual gratification, C, religion, or D, revenge for childhood trauma? Question number 10 of 20. What was the number one motive for Dellmus Colvin to want to keep killing? Lieutenant RN and Sal are going with B. Ivory Lady is going with B as well. Joe Tallchief, I gotta look up aggravated murder. Oh my God, says B for Kitty Q. Pippadot, Lita, and Gianna Marie are all going with B. So it's Gemma, B, Stephanie, D, Purple, B. Oh my God, I think it's B, says Joe Tallchief. Let's see. D was his defense. What was the number one motive? The correct answer, you're good. It's going to be hard to believe, but the answer to question number 10 is B as in boy. Misogyny and sexual gratification was why he kept on killing. B as in boy. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first 10 questions. Now I'm going to put the spotlight on a cold case of someone who is missing from America. Usually I do 2 cases, but tonight there is only 1 case that I'm covering tonight. I am working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children along with the Charlie Project, the FBI, NAMUS, and state and local law enforcement here in the United States to put a spotlight on cold cases of people who are missing. In the United States, approximately 600,000 people are reported missing each and every year. A vast majority of these individuals are found within a short period of time, within 90 days. Again, just because you may see something or one of these cases may be old does not mean that they are gone. Keep in mind, J.C. Dugard was missing for 18 years before she was eventually found alive. Hope is real. 29% of that 600,000, those are the cases that I highlight here every single week. Just like the case of April Dawn Andrews. That is an age progressed photo of what she may look like today. Her hair could be colored differently. She could also be wearing glasses. If you know anything about what happened to April Dawn Andrews, you can call the number that is on the screen there, 479 451 8220. If you had a missing loved one, wouldn't you want someone to help today? Think about the cases in that aspect. Each and every one of these families and their friends deserve closure, some kind of a solution, resolution to what happened to their loved ones. You can now take a 7-minute break. You don't have to stick around for this. Do whatever you do. Shotgun a beer, drink a fifth of whiskey, smoke a mega bowl of the whatever strain of weed there is out there. I'm not judging anyone. Do whatever you need to do for the next 7 minutes. Again, like I said, normally there are 2 cases, but this week there is only 1. And that case is of Peggy Lynn Alt. She was 17 years of age when she vanished. She would now be 58. The photo you see here is what she would look like approximately today, and an age enhanced at the photo of what she would look like at the age of 58. She is a Caucasian female. She was last seen on 3/2 of 1985 in High Ridge, Missouri. She is 5 foot tall. At the time that she vanished, she weighed 115 to 120 pounds. Her eye color is brown and her hair color was brown when she vanished. At the time that she disappeared, she had no tattoos or scars, and she had no known medical conditions that would make her disappear. Take a close look at this enhanced photo image of her. Add reading glasses or short, dirty blonde hair in color. These are the tips that have come in the past that people have said that they've seen her, after she disappeared in 1985, but she had shorter hair and it had been dyed a blondish color. Peggy left home at the age of 17. She may have used or has used the name of Sarah Gimbel or Peggy Lee Alt or Jane Samantha Alt, or a combination of her mother and grandmother's names at the time that after she disappeared. Several of the tips put her in and around the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma area of the United States. Again, she voluntarily left home on her own at the age of 17. She was considered a runaway for about 5 months. And then she aged out of the program and was removed from the Center for Missing and Exploited Children and ended up on the Charlie Project along with other national and local databases for people who are missing. Again, she very well, it most likely is alive and well out there. And she's just moved on and she's living her own life. And she knows that her family is still looking for her because every year on the date of the anniversary of her disappearance, her family pays for a billboard to be put up along 2 of the major interstates that run through the area. And local television stations have carried the state, her missing information for several years afterwards. Again, law enforcement believes she is alive and well and she is out there. But if you know anything about what happened to her, you can call the tip line 636-797-99 899. At that number, you can remain anonymous if you have a tip that could help bring closure for the family and for law enforcement. If you know, again, anything about where she is today. And that is our only missing case this week. Break time is not over with. You still have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. It is very scary, Joe Tall Chief, when you know someone, and then just vanishes. I have a very good friend who vanished in 1990. No one knows where she is. She was of the Wapom Native American tribe, and she never returned back to the reservation, to her family's home, nowhere. She just up and vanished. And also at the same time, 1973, my brother vanished. But he vanished after my father kicked him out of the, pretty much disowned him, kicked him out of the family. That is a very good possibility, JDR, that she does not wish to be found. That's why it says that she may have used those names in the past. People vanish for all kinds of reasons. Again, 600,000 people in America go missing every single year. Again, a vast majority of them were found within a short period of time, 90 days after they're reported missing. But that still leaves well over 170,000 people every single year that go missing and are never found again. And there are people that move, they change their names. They're in debt so thick, they can't, see, the light at the end of the tunnel. They move. Nobody knows. That's why we must be vigilant. If we know anything, say something. The disappearance of the Springfield Three is unsolved. No suspect. A lot of evil people like Dellmus Colvin. Very true, Joe Tall Chief. Very true. Break time isn't over yet. You still have. Is that a 8 or is that a 9? That's an 8. You still have a little over 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Here in Belgium, it's about 5 a year that are never found. Wow. Population-wise for Belgium, that is quite a bit. I mean, whether we have 300 million Americans. Huge country, the States. Yeah, it is. At least Sylvia Brown and her wrong predictions are no longer gumming up the works. Sylvia Brown. Who's the guy that used to do a show like Sylvia Brown? I can't remember what his name was. You have 40 seconds left of the break. 40 seconds. Montana is and Wyoming are huge states and densely not very populated, not dense population, very few, compared to other states. Big sky country of Montana. 10 seconds. It is JDR. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, from our break. Without further delay, let's get back to our normal programming. Question number 11 is now on your screen. What cold case murder was Dellmus Colvin later convicted of? Was it A, the murder of Karen Reed, B, the murder of Donna Lee White, C, the murder of Polly Shore, or D, the murder of Lori Vallow Daybell? John Edwards. Thank you, Joe Tall Chief. In case you guys aren't familiar with how Sylvia Brown and John Edwards used to do it, they used to scan the lists of people from the audience, and they had little listening devices that would tell them, about the audience members. It was all a scam. I'm not saying that there are not people out there that can't, they're not that clairvoyant, that can't, see the future, or they can't predict the future. Believe in what you want. I'm not here to tell you not to believe in it. You wish it would. Joe Tall Chief wishes it was C. The weasel? You want the weasel to be murdered? Joe Tall Chief is like, I'm going to go with B. Got to remember to change the my second page. They were grifters. That is true. Question number 11. The correct answer is B, as in boy. Donna Lee White was the cold case murder that he was convicted of later on. Donna Lee White. Question number 12. Dellmus Colvin has claimed he murdered between 47 and 52 women. How many have some actual facts connecting him on top of the 7? So this is addition to the 7, okay? Is it A, 15 to 18, B, 9 to 11, C, 2 to 3, or D, 20 to 34? Clairvoyant. I don't care what people believe in. If you believe that there are clairvoyant, people who can predict the future, or can read your palm, or can give you something that makes you feel better from your astrological chart, I don't care. Reading the tea leaves in a bowl. If you believe in it, believe in it. I'm not telling anybody, what to believe in. Question number 12. How many have some actual factual connection to Dellmus Colvin? Could it go to C, question mark? I don't know. Probably B. This is in addition to the 7. The correct answer to question number 12 is, say it with me, Joe Tall Chief, B. B as in boy. 9 to 11. There are 9 to 11 additional murders that have some type of connection to Dellmus Colvin. Particularly, he was in the area as a truck driver on the date these individuals disappeared. Did he kill them? We don't know. Again, the bodies haven't been found. So he could have killed, really did kill somewhere between 47 and 52. So if, let's just say a high number there, that'd be 18 right now that we know that, he was in the area at the time that these 9 to 11 additional women disappeared. Question number 13. Eventually, I've got the wheel of death. It's loading. There we go. What prison is Dellmus Colvin in today? Is it A, San Quentin, B, Sing Sing, C, Folsom, or D, Pickaway Correctional, DRC, Lebanon? Good evening, Mel, and welcome to tonight's trivia. You are more on time than those who are not here, Mel. Always remember that. I hope you had a great weekend, Mel. What prison is Dellmus Colvin in today? Sal, Lita, Pippa, and Kitiku are all going with D. Lieutenant RN, Ivory Lady, Gemma, and Kathleen are, Kathleen's going with A, but everyone else is going with D, and Joe Doll Chief is going with D, not B. What prison is Dellmus Colvin in today? The correct answer to question number 13 is D as in dog. He is in Pickaway Correctional, DRC, and I have no clue what DRC stands for. I tried looking that up like 5 different times. I cannot figure it out. If you put Pickaway Correctional in there, it always says DRC afterwards. And I could not find a confirmed answer of what DRC is, but he's in Lebanon prison it's called actual name is Pickaway Correctional, DRC, Lebanon. If you know of a website that has the answer to what DRC is, please shoot it to me in an email. I would love to hear it because I know of another prison that has the DRC definition. That is my email address. 411nowbusiness@gmail.com. If you know of a website where I can prove what DRC is, I would love to hear it because I could not find a definite answer to what DRC is. I even reached out and asked someone who's a former inmate, and he didn't know. He's like, I don't know. Some prisons just have letters after the names, So your weekend has been, well, let's not talk about it. Okay, Mel. Question number 14. What tool eventually helped link Dellmus Colvin to the crimes? Was it A, eyewitness accounts, B, DNA profiling, or C, fingerprints, or D, a polygraph test? Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Say that, Kitiku, I found quite a few different sources that said that it was something along the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, something along that lines. But I also found other ones that, where it was along that lines, but not exactly the same. What? Oh, that went by quickly. I live on the south end of Minnesota's 10,000 lakes. The south, not north. You're south, so you're south of the Twin Cities. I'll tell you, why did I think you were in upstate? For some reason, Joe Tall Chief, I pictured that you were up by somewhere near Mankato. I don't know why. Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, Day Reporter Center. Yeah, they're all good guesses. But I only know of one other prison that I've ever come across in all the years I've been doing this that had the DRC after the name of the prison. Well, it could refer to the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Yeah, and very well could be, Mel. Why only two prisons would they ever put the DRC next, abbreviation next to it? I don't know. I mean, why do we name prisons after people that who swindled money from the states? Only a teddy bear. But I live on the south shore of a lake. Oh, you live on the south shore of a lake. Well, with 10,000 natural lakes in the state of Minnesota, that doesn't really narrow it down, does it? I got family all over the damn state of Minnesota and Wisconsin. All over the place. It's where we immigrated from. When we immigrated from Ireland, my family landed in Minnesota, upstate, near Little Falls, Brainerd area. And then some of them moved down by the Twin Cities and the suburbs there. And then the rest of them moved over into Wisconsin from Madison going down. That's where all my kinfolk are. The answer to question number 14 is, say it with me, B. B as in boy. DNA profiling is how they eventually connected him to the crimes. There are now two bears outside. Are you near White Bear Lake? The south side of White Bear Lake? And that's one bear, and then you see an actual physical bear. Da-da-da-da-da. Question number 15. Put on trial for murders in 2006. What was the outcome of the trials? Was it A, found not guilty, B, plea bargain, C, found guilty, or D, found to be insane and charges were dropped? Little Falls is a pretty little town. Yeah, well, it's grown a lot over the years, Joe Tall Chief. When I was younger, my grandmother used to be the one-woman post office there. I mean, back in the 70s. It was a much, much smaller town before the interstate, came through, and the Walmart and all that other crap came into town. I still have family that lived there in Little Falls. Little Falls, Brainerd, Monticello nuclear plant, nuclear complex. Can you film the bears? Sal's going with B and C. Pippadat is going with C. Question number 15. The correct answer to question number 15 is B or C. B or C is the correct answer to question number 15. Brainerd is now huge. That's where my great grandfather had his farm, was in Brainerd, just outside of town. Of course, they passed away. My great grandfather passed away 1977. My great grandmother passed in like 4 years prior, so 73. Anyways, question number 16. During the trial, Colvin took the stand in his defense. How did he describe How did he describe disposing of one of the victims? Was it A, he burned the body? B, he dumped her in Lake Erie? C, he buried her at a truck stop? Or D, he buried her in his own backyard? I used to be a smallish farm town. Used to live in a smallish farm town in Minnesota someplace. It's a much easier life there. I could never convince my wife to move back there though. Mel is, I'll take B. What? Oh my God. Did I skip it? I skipped it. All right. It's question number 16. The correct answer to question number 16 is B as in boy. He dumped her in Lake Erie. Dumped her in Lake Erie. B as in boy. Question number 17. What nickname was given to the crimes of Dellmus Colvin by mainstream media? Was it A, the night trucker? B, the interstate strangler? C, deadly night trucker? Or D, highway and byway strangler? That was 38-year-old Valerie Jones. Question number 17 of 20. What nickname was given to him by mainstream media? Lieutenant RN, Kitty Crew, and Peppermint are going with B. Angel talking to me the B. B. Stephanie is going with B as well. Gemma going with B. Kathleen, B. Sal, Gianna Marie, and Lita are all going with B. B seems to be a popular answer, I must say. Question number 17. The correct answer is B as in boy. The mainstream media nicknamed him the Interstate Strangler. And are we going to go to 19? Or are we just going to have the wheel and dance around here? Question number 19. Which victim's murder demanded an additional 30 years be added to his 7 life terms? Was it A, Jackie Simpson's murder? B, Valerie Jones's murder? C, Dorothy Wessel's murder? Or D, Donna Lee White's murder? Question number 19 of 20. Which victim's murder demanded an additional 30 years be added to his 7 life terms? B. Stephanie, I didn't know anything about this guy until I put this trivia night together. Some people like to keep track of how many they get right. It's optional. We're just here for fun, entertainment, and to hang out with people that are, like-minded. Tom Baker, if you want to see bears, visit Colorado Springs or Mapato. Sal's going with a B. B. Stephanie's going with D, and so is Joe Tallchief. Joe Tallchief is going with D, ladies and gentlemen. Is it going to be right, though? Lieutenant Orion is going with D, and so is Ivory Lady. Question number 19. The correct answer is D as in dog. Donna Lee White. The murder of Donna Lee White. He was convicted of it later on, and he received an additional 30-year sentence on top of his 7 life terms that he must serve end to end to end to end. Plus 30 years if he lives through all 7 life terms. Question number 20. According to the FBI and the Department of Justice, what year approximately did Dellmus change from assaults to murdering women? Was it A, 1979, B, 1983, D, 1990, or D, in the year 2000? Question number 20 of 20. According to the FBI and Department of Justice, what year approximately? Why do they say approximately? Is because the FBI and the Department of Justice do not know exactly when, because Dellmus won't talk about his early crimes. Will, this would be the first time ever I made an A, ever. But that's not fair because I couldn't get in, missed out on number 1. Congratulations, Pippadot. I don't know if you can hear me yet, so. Kittico, B, and 4 solid question marks after the B. I don't know. Mel Stiller, I will take B. Question number 20 of 20. The correct answer is B as in boy, 1983. 2 FBI agents believe he may have committed his first murder in 1981, but they are not sure at this point. Because again, Dellmus refuses to talk about his earlier crimes. What crimes did he commit before murdering? Were they all sexual assaults and that led up to murder? We don't know. How many did you get right on tonight's trivia? Don't leave. I have 3 bonus trivia questions coming up. I have 3 bonus trivia questions. Again, like I said, I would have gotten 3 out of 20 correct tonight. But, that's all I knew about Dellmus Charles Colvin. I would have gotten 3 of these 20 correct. Hi, meet. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Just woke up from a nap. Oh, you got 5. B. Stephanie got 5 right. Maybe you'll get one of the bonus questions. I got 3 bonus questions. Sneak peek at this week's trivia question of the week. Should long-haul truck drivers be paid double or triple what they are currently making now, even if it adds, that's the wrong ad, less than a dime to the cost of goods, because it's way less than that? A, yes. B, yes. C, yes. D, yes. Wish Reichardt was here. Reichardt could confirm that it's a very thin margin, when it comes to long-haul truck driving to make money. And if we doubled or tripled what they made to get goods to you in the stores, and every single item that you buy in the store at one point or another was on a truck driver somewhere moved it. If it was made in China, it went on a ship and got over here. A truck picked it up and brought it to the store, or Amazon delivered it on a truck to your front door. Somewhere along the line, there was a truck driver. Even the person who may have made your stuff at a Ren fair They all had purchased their stuff and got their items from somewhere, and a truck was involved somewhere. And we don't pay enough respect to the people out there who are working day in and day out, night and day, to bring us the things that we want to consume. Bonus trivia question for the number one, the first bonus trivia question. Forensics show that Dellmus Charles Colvin traveled across state lines to dispose of more than one victim. However, he was never charged by federal authorities for doing this. In one Dellmus Colvin confession, he let slip by accident that he drove from New Jersey to what state then to dispose of a victim? Was it A, New York, B, Boston, Massachusetts, C, Nebraska, or D, North Carolina? Inner Peas, I'm here. Good evening, Inner Peas. Bonus question number one. Did he drive from New Jersey to where? To dispose of a victim. And you might be wondering, why did the federal government not charge Dellmus Charles Colvin for the crime of interstate transportation of a deceased individual? Because he got 7 life terms. He will never, ever leave prison. And if the federal government was to prosecute him, that would just go on the end of everything else. But if he was to somehow have gotten, a plea deal, or they threw out the murder charges, he would still have the 30 years for for murdering the one lady, White, the cold case. He would still have that. So even if they threw out the 7 life terms, he would still have that 30 years. And then the federal government has the ability to go in and prosecute him for dumping, taking a victim from one state and disposing of her in another. And the answer to question number one, bonus question, is he went from New Jersey to C as in cat, Nebraska, and disposed of the victim in Nebraska. Bonus question number two. What did Dellmus Colvin say was a factor that makes long-haul truck driving a role that facilitates his crimes and others? Was it A, the high salaries gives them freedom, B, isolation and easy to transport victims, C, lack of light and security, or B, being around others that support these activities? Bonus question number two. What did Dellmus Colvin say was a factor that makes long-haul truck driving a role that facilitates his crimes and others? Yeah, Kathleen, Mel, Sal, Lita, B. Stephanie, Joe Talchief, me, Gianna Marie, Peppa Dot, Purple, and Kitty Q are all going with B. And B is correct. B as in boy is correct. Isolation and easy to transport victims. Bonus question number three. According to the FBI and the Department of Justice, what is the likelihood that serial killers are still working the roads of America as long-haul truck drivers? Is it A, a 90% chance, B, 35% chance, D, 50% chance, or D, 60% chance? Bonus question number 3. According to the FBI and the Department of Justice, what are the likelihood that serial killers are still working the roads of America as long-haul truck drivers? Bonus question number 3. Get it go D. I hope it for B though. Mel says I'll take B. Purple B. Sal, I don't know. B. Lita D. Me B. Ivory Lady is going with A. The correct answer is B as in boy. 35% chance. The heyday for serial killers, and working the roads of America have long gone. There are not as many truck drivers out there that the FBI and the Department of Justice believe are, serial killers or ever were serial killers. Yes, Dellmus Colvin, was definitely a long haul truck driver and a serial killer, but he is a small fraction. Other people who were more likely to be serial killers were traveling salesmen, people who work from East Coast to West Coast or West Coast to East Coast as salesmen. Those occupations were more likely to be serial killers than truck drivers. And now there is so much oversight into, the trucks, and how they're regulated in the industry. They're not just hiring anyone out there off of the streets unless you want to work for Swift. Swift will still take anybody as a driver, but it's not like it used to be. Got a question? I strive to have the most accurate trivia night online. However, mistakes do happen. I am only human after all. If you've seen an error, have a follow-up question, I will research the question and give you a shout out in the corrections if needed. Email your question and concerns to 411nowbusiness@gmail.com. Please add the trivia subject topic to the top of the email or question. Questions and corrections are answered in the order received. I do strive to be, as accurate as possible, but I am only human and I do make mistakes. Okay. So that's trivia. That's all the trivia questions. And yes, you may have noticed that. Look at all those B's, a couple of D's. Look at all those B's and one D. What? Yeah, that was on purpose. Maybe you didn't notice that. So let's look at last week. Last week's was all the questions were either B or C last week. And the week before that, everything was either A or B with some D's thrown in. Every week I've picked a different letter for, or 2 letters for all of the trivia questions. And yes, after 371 episodes of Trivia Night, I finally made a chart out like this, where it prints the, how, where the videos are played, viewer discussion, discretion, and all that, it's there. For 371 episodes, I did it on a scrap piece of paper like this every single week. I hand wrote it out. Notes, and we're like, see where the arrow is down here at the bottom for question number 13. I did 371 episodes like that before finally breaking down and making an actual sheet for it. What? I know. I'm a little slow, but I'll eventually will get there. Kiddiku A536490 is his prisoner number. In case anybody wants to write Dellmus, and say, hey, what's up? My first trivia night. Be Stephanie bewitched, not bothered? Well, welcome. I certainly hope you had fun. If you want, you can go back and watch. This was the 375th episode of Trivia Night. They're two separate playlists on YouTube for the playlist for trivia. But keep that in mind. And B Stephanie bewitched, not bothered. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. Hippo character head pops out of the water, surrounded by his hippo squad. Thank you very much, Stephanie, for the super chat. I appreciate that. That was really nice to do that. Catalog trivia night. I don't believe that truckers are low risk. Some truckers go to Canada and back. How would the FBI calculate that? Occupation. The occupation doesn't draw in the people like it used to, Tom Baker. At one point, the FBI said that they believe in just the lower 48 states of the United States, they believed that there were 1,000 serial killers at the high point, killing in America or hunting. They were active serial killers, 1,000 of them. Now, that number has plummeted to somewhere between 400 and 600. Serial killers are active. Either they're killing right now today or they're hunting for their next victim. Thank you, Kiddiku, for gifting the channel membership. I appreciate that. B. Stephanie, now you have a channel membership on top of it. Welcome to 411 now. Pinzer, Outspaced, Dollface. Welcome. Moonlight View and Kit. Welcome. And Barnus Fahrenheit. Good. Welcome to 411 now. I hope that you all find the channel membership useful, and I hope you continue with them. It's only 99 cents a month. After that, Will, what is your opinion on the Donald Trump autism speech? Are you talking about the Tylenol thing, Gemma? Is that what you're talking about? Him and John F. Kennedy Jr. saying that Tylenol is you shouldn't pregnant women shouldn't take Tylenol. If that's what you're referring to, my only opinion on that is, if you're pregnant, you should listen to your doctor and take medical advice from your doctor, not from a man who said that he has a brain worm, is a admitted heroin addict, and somebody else who has never worked anywhere in the medical field at all. Take only advice if you are pregnant on what you should and should not take from your doctor. Is there a connection between acetaminophen and possible birth defects or autism or anything else? Not that I'm aware of. Not that my wife is aware of. Not that anyone in my wife's family who works in the medical field is aware of. That's not, I don't know how acetaminophen can change, genetics. But hey, there are people out there that believe this stuff. Just like there are people that believe Jenny McCarthy, that she cured her son of autism by giving him massive doses of vitamin C. I'm not kidding you at all. She says that she cured her son of autism by giving him 2 to 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C every single day for like 90 days. That kid had to be shitting his guts out by taking that much vitamin C. And that doesn't cure, autism. For all those out there who have ever been touched or has a loved one, who is on the autism spectrum, the only thing I can say is these are very challenging times in America and around the world. And the misinformation that is out there is gaining traction. And please, whatever you do, don't listen to Donald Trump when he says that, kids with autism or adults with autism will never have jobs. They'll never write a poem. They'll never be able to throw a baseball. They'll never live a full, life. That's just absolute crap. And that's all I'm going to say on it. You're planning on doing a video on it? You should, sweetheart, because you have firsthand knowledge, that the world needs to hear. It's genetic. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, we all know that, Gianna Marie. The medical community, knows that. I mean, autism is not caused by vaccines. It's not caused by, acetaminophen. This is junk science. It makes you upset. We don't, in my family of 40 tall chiefs. Yeah, there are 40 tall chiefs in your family and no history of autism. Autism is a spectrum. Remember that. There are people with only a slight, on the smaller end, and there are people who are on the farther end of the spectrum. That with only babies. Please do, sweetheart. Please do email me. And Kathleen never listens to Trump. I would never take medical advice from somebody who is not a doctor. Unfortunately, though, in today's society, people not only get their medical advice from TikTok and Facebook, and WebMD, where you're more likely to get a cancer diagnosis. It's a tumor. There's so much misinformation out there, and I understand not everyone has the direct access to a qualified doctor, but at least you can find a veterinarian. They go to school for an awful lot longer, to become a vet than they do for a medical practitioner. The Amish are also great at logging things like bipolar, etc. I just feel lately that the autism community is being targeted yet again. It's always easier to attack those who are in the vulnerable populations around the world, Gemma. That it always happens. The Amish do extensive family trees. Yeah, the Mormons have the world's largest, online records of genealogy. Plus, they have the world's largest database of DNA now, the Mormon Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints, I should say. Trumpty Dumpty. We have a TV presenter died of cancer, refused chemotherapy, used stones, crystals, but didn't work. And that was his own prerogative, Tom. Trust me. My wife is a breast cancer survivor, and, and between the radiation and chemotherapy, it damn near killed her. And that's the entire, goal behind, the radiation chemotherapy. Kill the cancer before you kill the patient. What do you do? I mean, at that point, when she couldn't live any longer, she couldn't take another round of chemotherapy at one point. We had to sit down and have a really frank, discussion on what we, where do we go from here? What do we do next? My wife had metaplastic carcinoma of the breast. Very rare for women under the age of 50 to ever get it. She's 1 in 3 million women who will ever get it under the age of 50. They mark how things are inherited. That's cool. Cancer. The one thing that runs through my family, that on my side, my father's side of the family, diabetes. Diabetes runs, or as my great grandmother and my grandmother called it, we have the sugars. We have that sugar disease that runs through the family. That and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Yeah. But my wife is alive and well. Alive and well today. My sister is 4 years cancer free from breast cancer. Knock on wood, Meep. Let's pray for, and hope that it's another 4 years. That first 7 years after, afterwards, that's the touch and go period. And then got to get past the 10-year mark. Cancer sucks. It doesn't just destroy the patient, it destroys everything. But, I don't need to tell everybody out there. We all know that, don't we? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's trivia right there. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight for trivia night. On the way out, if you would hit this, that thumbs up button. It shows the algorithm just a tiny bit that somebody was here and enjoyed the actual stream. If not, if you didn't like the trivia night, give it a thumbs down. Thank you to Kitty Q for gifting the channel memberships to people, and also to the super chat that we received tonight. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I have two windows open. I have a private message one that somebody's messaging me on. It starts blinking unless I click on it. But anyways, like I was saying, thank you for the super chat from B Stephanie. I appreciate that greatly. Along with everyone else who was here. I know tonight we had 5 people who did pop in. I don't know how long they stuck around. who are from another true crime channel that told me that they were going to stop in. I did not see them in the comment section, so maybe they just watched for a little bit. But they were hopefully they made it, because I in the private chat window it says that they were here. So that's cool, and I hope they come back. I hope everyone comes back, for the next one. Again, if you're new here, we play live trivia every single Sunday night at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, or 12 midnight in the UK. I do not know the times for New Zealand, Australia, but in other parts of the world. But thank you, everyone, again. Again, every single Sunday, we are here to play live trivia, 20 multiple choice questions on, subject matter. 100% of the subjects that are, matter for who we do the trivia night on, like Dellmus Charles Colvin tonight, 100% of that is viewer suggested. So if you have a suggestion, put it in the comment section after the live stream. But otherwise, fire off an email and tell me who you'd like to see done. We are going through right now, and we only have one more trivia night left from the suggestion list from Cement Shoes. And I don't know where Cement is, but if you see this afterwards, Cement Shoes, just know that a lot of people miss you, and we worry about you. Okay. But I only have one more, suggested video, topic for trivia night for Cement that sent in. So, and then I'm out of suggestions. Besides the other trivia nights I'm working on, we're still going to have it. It's just, I got to get more. I need more. Everyone, take care. You have a great week ahead.
Hey, looky there. You made it to the end of yet another video. Why don't you go ahead and take a moment and hit that subscribe button down below. I'll go ahead and give you a couple of seconds to go ahead and do it. In the meantime, for those who did make it to the end of the video, thank you very much again for being here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see you all again very soon. In the meantime, you stay safe out there.